YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. We got your MLB action here for today. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. I mean, we got a nice slate. We got all day baseball going today. We got some NBA finally coming back tomorrow, so I'll probably do a little bit on that later. But yeah, just feeling good. A good sports week, a good start to the week for me. Hoping we can keep it up today.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously felt great to get it done on the show last time out. So obviously we get to talk about that a little bit here. We have 11 of you guys in here in the first minute or so. We appreciate you guys jumping in here on your Wednesday afternoon. Let's get a quick recap here as we get to both talk about our plus money winners here.
Sounds good. We got Kyle Stowers over 1.5 total bases, plus 130. Didn't wait too long. Nice and easy cash on this one. Probably the most nervous I've been for a prop this year. Once again, I tweeted it out. He was 1 for 27 coming into that game. And I made sure to emphasize everywhere, the recent form is not good, but I really like the matchup. And it's good when something like that comes to fruition. You feel a little bit nervous, recommending a prop on a guy that's, been awful recently. So it felt good to get that cash right there. Obviously had a nice plus money price tag as well.
Yes. I am also getting to talk about one here as well. I had Joe Ryan to record the win. And again, I kind of talked about the bullpens as well. I feel like that was a big, important spot to talk about as yet again, that Twins bullpen just shoves and they just continue to do it. I feel like they're just an underrated team, man. I hate that offense, but I told you, Severino at home, bro, Fade City, baby. The dude almost got out with the second inning. He barely got out of the second inning, and was not expecting the game to get that high, but we'll take it either way. So counts for me.
100%, yeah. And, Joe Ryan, he's a guy it feels pretty good to back. You know what I mean? You said, I checked the box score pretty early. Sevy was getting hit around and was like, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to have to check this one again. And it worked out pretty well. Yeah,
luckily they got him a few extra ones because Joe Ryan usually never gets any run support. He gave him a ton, and then he sucked. All right, he sucked in the fifth inning. I'm like, all right, just give me through 5, bro. Just give me through 5.
Yep.
But feels good to hit both plus monies. It moves us to almost 15 units again on the season. And we head into today's slate. I know each of us have one. I know it's going to be a little bit of a quicker one. My Brewers start in 15 minutes, so that'll be fun for me to get those early. We have a great slate, Stu. Any game you specifically want to start with here as we get it rolling? As we have 25 of you guys in here in the first 3 minutes. Appreciate you joining us.
Okay, well, I got a question for you then. All year long, Brewers day game, lefty.
Doesn't matter.
Does it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter, Dave. They're not at home, bro.
That's fair. Great.
I only take those at home.
Okay.
I don't mind fading Abbott. That's the thing is I'm very weird with Abbott. That's why I'm not betting any bet on this. I'm only going to probably take – I like Churio today. I do like Churio. He's playing good ball right now. But yeah, I can't in good faith do it right now because the Brewers are actually playing very, very well. I also like the little opener we're doing here with DL Hall doing his thing, getting through, and then bringing in Priester. 2 very different pitching styles. It's going to be I like the game. But yeah, that Boston game should be just a fucking shootout. I hate Lucas Giolito, so let's see some fucking runs.
That's fair. I just wanted to get that question in here. We got about 10 minutes before it goes. And if you said yes, I would have bet it right here live. You know what I mean? I knew you would have a take on it, obviously, because you talked about similar stuff during the year. So definitely wanted to get that in there. And, someone in the chat might have that question as well. Outside of that, though, I'm going to be watching Cubs Nationals. I might go to that game tonight, honestly.
Good game.
Mound, exactly. It looks
like Peter Goat Armstrong, baby. I got to keep it going as long as humanly possible. Carry the fantasy team as long as you can. He finally carried me to the point where I'm starting to get Jose Ramirez and Trey Turner doing what they actually normally do. But he was the one carrying me, and shout out PCA. I don't imagine it lasts a ton longer. I'm expecting the swing and miss to start coming a little bit more here. But he's been great. They're a fun team, dude. They are a fun team. It's just gonna be a fucking boring ass game. I think it's going to be pretty low scoring with both those guys on the mound for sure.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. And yeah, PCA, only problem, it's hard to bet him now too. All the prices have caught up. I mean, you pretty much, the only thing that's even possible is like a hit in like a hit parlay, because everything else, bases is never plus money anymore. Hits, runs, RBIs is juice to hell, all those different things. So yeah.
Yeah. Dan, that was a recap from last show. That is not today's plays. We did not post those yet. We will do that shortly. But yeah, he did win. He did give me a win last time we were out here. But my weird one today that's kind of getting me is, why am I seeing an 8.5 total in this Royals game, bro? I don't know if you saw. I posted it. It was one of my action plays. It was my action spot of the day. Gave me a 9 yesterday. Now you're giving me worse arms, and we're bringing the total down a half a run and giving me plus money on the over. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I hammered that one. I played the over 9 pretty heavy, and that shit hit in like the 5th. Because those guys suck, dude. Lorenzen's trash. Peonte's trash. And are we taking that big of a step up with Miles Michaelis and Noah Cameron? Not really. Like, I don't know, man. That game just it's sketching me out a little bit. It's just like those ones in the back of your head. Why is this here? Right? Why am I getting a very nice 8.5? It's kind of scaring me off of it a little bit in that one. And then I think the only other game I kind of want to talk about is Phillies Blue Jays. Do you have anything to talk about in that one before we get to some props?
No, the only other thing I was going to say about the Royals one is, what's that rookie's name that just got called up? Jack something? Caglione. I mean, he might be worth a bet today, honestly. I mean, I saw he had like 3 balls hit over 110 miles an hour or something yesterday.
No, he had like 98, 112, and then I think another ground ball at like 90 something. But
gotcha.
Hit it right at him. I don't know, dude. He just faces a lot more than a lot of guys, but I don't see much difference here against Michaelis. I think he should have a good game. It's just, you're still paying premium yet because he's a big name. Yeah, like if you wait a week and he's like struggling, it's just tough when I'm like having to pay like a decent price on a guy who's never got a hit yet.
Yeah, that's true. He's popular on the Twitter streets for sure. That's why I wanted to bring him up. Everybody loves the new face, the new rookie that gets called up, and it's fun. It's fun to root for.
Yeah. I feel like the Twitter darlings are never the way I like to go. I know we were talking, Stu, about before the show. I enjoy being on an island by myself. I feel like, not like in real life. If we were in like real life, I can't really go without talking for very long. But in the betting space, I love it. I feel like I thrive living on my own island and just taking the heat for a little bit and just hopefully getting that most of the time on some plus money stuff that I'm like a little bit more onto than most here. So let's get this going, Stu. You ready to start talking some props here?
I am. Good to go.
All right, let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, I got Kyle Harrison under 16.5 outs. I think it's actually minus 120 right now. It's moving a little bit. I think that's the best over on DraftKings. But yeah, this wasn't even originally going to be my play, honestly. I was scrolling through. I normally go kind of game by game, and that's obviously one of the later ones on the slate right here. But as I looked at it, it's one that I almost had to do a little bit of a double take on with seeing Harrison at 16.5, because one, I mean, I just expected at maximum it would be 15.5. And the reason I started looking at this is because I was looking through the no-win market, right? We always talk about no-win being a good parlay piece for multiple reasons. One, a guy maybe is not even going to go 5 innings himself. You don't trust the bullpen coming in afterwards, whatever, all these reasons. I was kind of thinking Harrison could be a solid no-win tonight with Pavetta on the other side. But then I didn't really like the price as much. And as I thought about it more and more and I looked at more markets, I kind of realized, well, why would I bet the no-win if like a big part of that would be him, maybe not even getting deep into this game? And you don't even have to account for if he does well or if he doesn't do well, right? Because we've only seen 2 starts from him. He's been in the bullpen all year long, and he's been pretty good in the bullpen as well. And then his recent starts have been pretty good as well. He went against Washington. He was confined to about 60 pitches, according to coaching staff and everything like that. Then he went last week, in his most recent start against the Marlins, he went 5 full. He threw 80 pitches, and he was pulled despite no threat whatsoever, right? Like he was fantastic. He looked great out there. But he's a young guy. He's a young guy that had some ups and downs last year. They're a team that likes to use their bullpen. I don't think there's any rush for Harrison to be throwing 7 innings in these games. So with that context, you now come in, he hasn't gone over 80 pitches so far this year, and I'd be a little bit surprised if he got up to the 90s or let alone, triple digits, anything like that. So you're asking him already to be pretty efficient even if he's good, because he was very good against Miami. I mean, 5 innings, I think only 2 hits in that game. He looked very good. But we've seen Harrison in the past have some control problems as well with the walks. That's always a way to kind of run up the pitch count. When you look at last year, in his 24 starts, he stayed under this number in 15 of 24 already, taking away any bullpen stuff, not being fully stretched out. Like when he was a fully stretched out starter last year, he still stayed under in most of his starts. And the Padres, they're annoying. They're a good offense sometimes and an absolute dog shit offense other times. They're a pretty inconsistent team, and that can hurt you. But what we've seen in the series so far, Logan Webb went 8 innings, and then their starter last night went 6 1/3. So the bullpen is almost completely fully rested. This is a team that has shown willingness to go to the bullpen frequently. Like they're a team that's comfortable. They don't have their starters on super long leashes. They've got a couple guys that can pitch long relief very comfortably in the bullpen as well, because they've got 10 starters and they're trying to balance them all through the majors and minors right now. So I just don't understand this. I just think there's a lot of things that point to the under, whether Harrison looks good or not. I'm not even advocating for the case where the Padres look more like the Padres and they come out and they have a pretty good offensive game. Maybe they draw a couple walks, make him work for it a little bit. I don't think the leash is going to be good in a good start, let alone a bad start. So for me, I just think there's too many factors right here. And I like Harrison, actually. I bet on him a decent amount last year. I was a pretty good fan. And I still do think he has definitely a lot of potential. The velocity's been up this year as well. He's throwing a little bit harder. I think that's a little bit of that can be correlated to not being a fully stretched out starter. Maybe we see a little bit of regression there, but he's not going to be starting for long. Verlander's coming back. I think he's only got one more start after this. So I just don't see any big, he's doing good. You want to protect his confidence. I don't see any reason to stretch him out, super deep into this game. So I thought 16.5 was very good. Really like the under here.
Awesome. It's an under show, I guess, today, because I will be on an under as well. Yet again, I'll be taking Chris Sale under 6.5 strikeouts at plus 100. And again, I feel like I'll probably be one of the only guys taking under on these. I don't look a ton into that first matchup. He only had 4 strikeouts through 5 innings. I don't usually like using batter versus pitcher. If you really do, I believe it's a 27% K rate against these guys through 108 at-bats against these guys that should be in the lineup here. I guess my biggest thing is I don't expect Chris Sale to continue to have a 33% strikeout rate against right-handed batters. I don't expect that to continue. I know he's got good stuff. Obviously, his slider is unbelievable. He uses it 48% of the time, four-seamer 41% of the time. My issue is we talk about pesky teams, man. It's Padres and Diamondbacks have to be your 2 top teams in that aspect. And they're just over. There's an over galore, man. These guys, they put the ball in play, they hit you hard, and there's really no let up in this lineup outside of maybe if you want to say Tim Tawa, and then now Tim Tawa's hitting bombs. What the fuck? So, yeah, just crazy. Going back and kind of looking here at the last time they faced each other, right? He went 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, but he threw 104 pitches. I think that's really important for you guys to hear because Chris Sale has been throwing 6 full, 7 full. In 3 of his last 3 starts was 7, 7, and 6 innings pitched. That just shows you what this Diamondback team does to you. I don't know if anybody watched Spencer Strider just get absolutely nuked yesterday because they get you to 7, 8 pitches in that bat, and then they find a barrel. That is so that just kills your confidence on the mound. You're these deep in the counts, and then you got a guy like Ketel Marte who just does a strikeout. Corbin Carroll's been very, very good at limiting his strikeouts now this year. I don't know how, but he went from being one of the highest strikeout rate guys to now very, very minimal. Josh Naylor, phenomenal against lefties and now striking out, right? And then you just go down this list. It's just they have lefty specialists, right? And yes, Gurriel strikes out a decent amount, but he's very good against lefties. Randall Grichuk, right? Same thing. Then you go down even further. You got Eugenio Suarez out of the 6, who smokes lefties, right? This team is built on doing it. I understand Sale's got unbelievable swing and miss. And this bet could look stupid, right? I had a Kyle Hendricks bet at plus money on his under 4 strikeouts. And guess what? He immediately got to 4, right? Like in the first 2 innings. And yes, that could happen here with Chris Sale. But I also think that we've already seen the blueprint. Arizona's seen them already. Work the counts deep. Following off those good sliders. All you got to do is tap them, man. You don't have to be going for power here against them. I feel like that's where a lot of these teams struggles. They see those sliders up in the zone and they just try to smoke them, and they just turn into really weak contact or swings and misses. Looking at the teams that are in the top 5 in terms of strikeouts against lefties, that would be Toronto, San Diego, Royals, Cubs, and Arizona. Those are your top ones. Arizona and the Cubs are 2 of the top 3 in terms of WRC plus against lefties. 115 for the Diamondbacks. It's nice because we have data here with the Padres against Sale, and he absolutely nuked them. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. ISO cash is back, right? And they're a team that obviously strikes out very limited against lefties. Another one here you could look at too is that Phillies matchup. The Phillies, he got 8 on them, but he threw an absolute gem. 6 innings, 2 hits, right? And still got to 8, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he had to have a lot of things go right. He was on his game 100%. And I think this is a spot where I'm relying on team doing what they do, put the ball in play. 19% K rate against left-handed pitching this year. I think having Gurriel in the lineup here against the lefty and Grichuk, right? Those guys really help out in the middle there because like they're literally going to just be up there against those lefties. So sign me up. I really like this spot. Don't mind me some Gabby Moreno. He's turning it on too at the 8-hole, man. And Perdomo a switchy, right? It's just there's a lot of dudes, man. They're just a good offense. And I think this is a spot where you kind of get up for this type of game, right? You get up for this type of game, get him out, deal with that bullpen. Hell yeah. Sign me up for that bullpen at Atlanta. Sign me up, baby. So let's go on that under 6.5.
No, I like the arguments you're making. I mean, once again, like they're not only a good offense versus lefties, but like you said, I think the key word in there is pesky. Like they're annoying. They make you work. You know, there's no breaks. I think you nailed it. With like Perdomo was in the 9-hole most of the year, hitting 300. You know what I mean? I think they've moved him up a little bit more recently, but still, like they've got depth throughout the whole lineup. It's at times we talked about it with teams like the Rangers and stuff last year, where it's like if a team's like 5 through 8 is just as dangerous, like that's going to be a long day for a pitcher. And already seeing them earlier in the year as well, you get that added layer of kind of confidence or at least reassurance, you know, in there. So yeah, I like the spot. I like the plus money price tag. And like you said, I like being on an island as well. You know, I don't got any problems with that. Let's fade the public. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm sure Sale will be up there for that. I'm one of the more popular guys out there just because it's Chris Sale, and obviously he's got a 32% K rate on the year. So let's get a quick little recap here, Stu, and then we can talk some long shots.
Sounds good. Yep, we got Kyle Harrison under 16.5 outs, -120 best price over on DraftKings.
And I'll stick to DraftKings as well here on the under 6.5 strikeouts for Chris Sale at +100. Stu, we got a lot of different games right now. I know 2 of them are starting already. Any thoughts here on a long shot?
I don't have any bet right now. I don't have any long shots locked in at the moment, unfortunately.
I'm looking a little bit at a couple guys. There's not any crazy ones that kind of stick out today, unfortunately, which sucks. Again, it kind of sucks that we came on in the show already had some games going on, so that obviously kind of kills my top of the slate numbers there. But I think we could see maybe like an alternate earned runs on Mackenzie Gore today. I'm thinking about something like that, just because I just talked about how good the Cubs are against lefties. They're number 2 in the MLB. I think he could have one of those games where he has those 7-8 strikeouts, but gives up like 7 runs, because they're going to roll him until his fucking arm falls off. So like they're going to keep him going until they're at 110, for pitch count. So just something that I've kind of thought about there is kind of playing maybe the earned run angle, because his strikeout angle is just not even worth my money anymore, dude. The shit is so high. So just something there. What's up, guys? Play Soriano 3 walks at plus 135. I get it. I do. I just think that today's a little different. It's hot as fuck out there. I think this dude should just be hammering sinkers down in the zone the entire game, and just I would take, like, if I could take alternate under strikeouts, I might do that here. Like, just under 2.5, under 3.5, like literally something like that. Just because you can't put guys on base. Soriano has not given up a ton of power, but it's there, and that ball's gonna be flying in Fenway today. So just something that I thought about possibly. Maybe an alternate under if they do that. I don't know. But yeah, just a thought. For me, anything there from you, Sue, or no?
I don't mind it, but I think your logic is pretty good. And I will say Soriano under 4.5 Ks is plus 100 on MGM and then minus 175 on Caesars. So someone clearly liked that under. It's been bet heavily in a lot of spots, but if you like that under, 100 on MGM would be a great price compared to the rest of the market. So figured I'd throw that out there for anyone looking for a nice, at least, price compared to the rest of the market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I actually really like this from Coop. Thoughts on Baltimore, Seattle over today. I don't mind it. I think the tough part for me is you can get away with a lot more in Seattle just because of the field. Like, it's the worst field to hit in all of baseball. So maybe I'd start looking at like doubles, like looking at doubles allowed, possibly some plus money for those. Just because it is hard to hit a homer in Seattle. But I also don't mind the over. I think that that's a spot that I could get myself to. Like I said, the biggest issue is just the field, because I feel like if this was in Baltimore, it'd be like 8.5, 9. It's just like they're kind of giving that discount already. But definitely a spot that I don't mind. Obviously, Baltimore significantly better against righties. Seattle's very good against lefties. I just don't like trusting Seattle's offense. I don't care how good they're doing. I just personally just can't do it. So maybe it's just maybe it's a Baltimore day for me.
Yeah, that's the first game. Me, I love looking for hit props, batter props, stuff like that. Both pitchers pop up as guys you wouldn't hate targeting, but my problem is kind of like the Mariners side is always trickier because, like you said, who can you trust in that offense besides Cal leading the league in homers? Now he's plus 225 to hit one. It's like, I'm not going to take that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the one guy you do want to bet that was like plus 400, plus 500 all last year is now half of that price. So value's kind of gone. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably find something for like a hit prop or something in that game, because I do think both of those pitchers are very hittable, so I think it could be solid for the batter props, which obviously correlates with the overs as well.
Yeah, and maybe if I want to be maybe I just do it and just say screw it. I think I'll just mix in a long shot, even though I can't. It didn't give me as good a price, and I've been heater on long shots, so I've been trying to be picky on doing those. I was gonna look at like the 9.5, 10.5 in that Cardinals game. It's just not good enough price. Like plus 200 for 10.5 runs in the game with an 8.5 total at plus money. What the fuck? Give me something better than that, dude. Like even 11.5 is what, 300? Like I thought it'd be way higher than that. All right, is what it is. We got games going on right now, Stu. What do you got for the people before we get out of here? We got still 25 of you guys in here joining us live. If you have any other questions, this would be the time. Do it quick.
Yeah, no, I'll have my newsletter out later. I was saying my original play wasn't even supposed to be Harrison. I like Gonsolin for walks, especially 2 as a parlay piece. I think alt walks, now that they took out the alt outs, is like the best market available right now. Getting a guy that, because they used to never do the 3, so they kind of caught up, and now everybody's 3, but they still normally give you a pretty good price on the 2. You just got to find a parlay piece as well. So I'll probably have something for that a little bit later. But if anyone wanted a little insight to that, you get it early for being here. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'll probably find some kind of batter prop as well. But we'll see what happens. Excited. I like our plays a lot today. Hoping we can do another sweep, run it back for Monday.
Yes, sir. We will be back Friday. We should be back regular time Friday. I'll have to look at my schedule now that my entire schedule flips around now that we're in the summer months. So it makes it a little bit tougher to be locked up on times here. But obviously, you guys will know when we know, right? We're usually pretty quick at getting you guys the answers there. But yeah, I think it's a good slate. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. Hit that like button. I think we're at like 15 likes. We got 25 you guys still in here. We appreciate all the support as always. But yeah, we got Stanley Cup tonight. I saw Tyrone mention that as well. So it's a good day. A lot of games. I think the Brewers just started, and then Red Sox obviously be coming up here. But sign me up for some runs in that game, bro. Fuck, dude. Fade City everywhere.
Sounds good. Let's get some action. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. We will catch you guys Friday. Again, just make sure you got notifications on so you know we go live. Have a good one, and best of luck on all your bets tonight.